Good. Here we are again. How's your week been? We've both been in London, haven't we? Suffering from the fifth heat wave of the summer.
Yeah, and a few days. Apologies for people that have been waiting eagerly for the latest edition. So yeah, but plenty going on, and the heat wave, as you say. It's what's London like for you then?
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to London's fine. It's coming home when it's hot, and the trains seem very crowded, and the number of cancellations on the trains seems to be quite high at the moment because of staff shortage, and I assume that's because it's too hot for people to be bothered to go to work. So trains get cancelled, and the existing trains, or the remaining trains, very busy, overcrowded, very hot.
Nothing on the line though, not leaves, obviously.
No leaves or bodies on the line, no.
Just
Lots of sweaty people, and air-conditioned trains aren't quite air-conditioned, but...
You come to tube at all? That's always pleasant.
No, avoid that, yeah.
In the hot weather?
Yeah, that's ridiculously unhealthy. So, no, I avoid that. I'd rather walk.
Yeah. I popped up, as you know, don't go to London that often now. Popped up there primarily to go to the cricket yesterday, to go to the 100, which is good. But I coincided it with visiting the passport office in London, because I won't bore you with details, but although my passport says it runs out in July next year, it doesn't, because of EU changes. It actually runs out 10 years after it was issued.
Oh yeah, that's the new rule, catching a lot of people out.
So I'm glad I sorted that one out, and it's all clarification. So I put in a request for the 7-day service on that one.
So they'll be back in about 2.5 months.
Hopefully not. No, I went out there and they oh my, sorry.
Chin chin.
Sorry about that. Yeah, glass. They guarantee it, and I would hope that they do guarantee it for the stupid price that it costs. But you've been there. You've been to the London passport office
Years ago.
Probably a different one then.
It's not P France anymore.
No. I mean, they might still call it that, but it's by Excel.
Yeah. Oh, it's barely London.
No, but nice little bit of real estate they've got there. So it was, I managed to, it's the rest of the day panned out right, but the first bit going up there, I managed to witness all the things that generally piss me off on the train. Yeah. So we had the people who think it's a good idea to put their feet up on the seat opposite. Not sure they'd do that in their own house. Just annoys me. Dirt everywhere. And then the ones who clearly forgot their headphones and just play the music out loud. Or talk. Well, I've never quite got my head around why people have to talk on loudspeaker in a public place.
I think people have separation issues now. I don't know if it's after the pandemic, but people seem to have to FaceTime family and friends while they're on the 6:39 to Victoria.
Yeah.
What's the point of FaceTiming someone that early?
Don't know. I don't know whether they're FaceTiming or just a normal call, but just people walk around with their phone horizontal and talking into the bottom bit of it rather than holding it to their ear. And
yeah, that's bizarre. Why people do that? It's just...
So that was, and I found my way to the passport office. I had the appointment booked. Went through quite a lot of security. It was, if I was going to Fort Knox, really. More security guards than customers. Had my penknife confiscated while I was in there.
Did you take a penknife to the passport?
It's just a little one. It's only a little one on my keyring. It's just, like a utility thing. It's not, it's not a zombie knife, anything like that. It's just a little penknife. But I was told I had to take that off. Although I'm not entirely sure what I was going to do with said penknife.
Rip someone up, isn't it?
Well,
kids call it.
Rip someone up, yeah. They've all got screens, so you're kind of just talking for a screen to the person that didn't.
That's working from home.
Yeah. It's safety screen. So
right.
I should explain that there was someone on the other side of the desk, but I think they'd all had their kind of humour removed. There wasn't a lot going on there.
I bet they had a sticker or sign somewhere that said we don't tolerate any form of abuse.
They did.
I find that places that have those posters and stickers are generally places where you find people that are really shit at their jobs and they wind up the customer, like doctors' surgeries.
Yeah, well, there wasn't a lot of interaction going on. It was fairly clinical, I have to say. Like, you give a number, show your booking reference, say more security guards walking up. I mean, interestingly, a lot of the people there who are obviously all there to get their passports or apply or go through the process didn't seem to be British. I don't know, maybe that's why they're there to get their...
Well, that's why it's at XL, isn't it? Because you can tie the dinghies up on the Thames and get straight to the passport office to collect.
Could be, yeah, I suppose if you come up for if the barrier's down, Thames barrier. So, yes, a lot of security guards walking around with stab-proof vests. So, again, what my penknife would have done. But, no, I get it. It's security. And then greeted by someone who clearly was just looking forward to their pension in several years' time. And then I got that and left.
Right. So there's lots of news to cover, including Mr. Trump. He's saved us all from oblivion by the sounds of it, but we'll come on to that a bit later on. This caught my eye. A talking parrot helped to bring down a crime gang after it was caught on video repeating drug dealing phrases. I think this is brilliant. So, the parrot living in the house that drug dealing had taken place, and it's picked up all these phrases and he's grasped up his owners to the forces. I think that's just brilliant. All ways to get caught.
What any of the phrases you got, or is it?
I don't know any of that sort of street chat, but I think it must be, you're looking for a gram, or is it whatever the slang is for cocaine and heroin. And this parrot was repeating that in front of the police, which led the police to believe that there was a house of drug dealing, and sure enough it was.
So, well, I hope it leads to some convictions and someone doing some bird for it.
All right, let's move straight on to Trump.
Do we have to? Bit of an unusual one then, because we obviously spoke about Trump just after the Ankara meeting, and then keen to be on top of the news. Thought, no, we'll hold fire until we can fully report on the peace that's broken out.
Yeah, it hasn't really, is it? I think we were all positive about the meeting, and Zelensky turned up. Oh, sorry, Putin. There you go. Got that wrong. Putin turned up. Then we had the European leaders all gathered with Zelensky in the White House, which I thought was, they're just lacking in any sort of atmosphere there. I don't know what was said, but
I think they all brought their own smoke, didn't they, to blow up his arse.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's just shocking. I don't know what's gone on there, but I think something's gone on. And now he's going to try and broker a meeting between Zelensky and Putin, which...
it won't happen.
It can't happen, really, can it?
No, not really. So, something you said earlier was I found quite enlightening, and presumably it won't be...
It was me.
Yeah, you're been quite quizzical there. Around the people that came out the room when they were left together.
Yeah, so apparently there was... When Putin was there...
So meeting number one, peace meeting one.
Let's go back to the very beginning, the Putin meeting. There were a number of advisors, US advisors in the room. And when they left, the reporters that saw them leave said that they were ashen-faced and looked like they just received the worst news ever. Not sure what that could be.
Do you think they got shown maybe an excerpt from the video that Trump's in, that Putin's got? No, possibly. They didn't realise that sort of physical thing could happen to him.
Yeah, or maybe they were just shocked when they connected Trump up to have his chip replaced with a new update for the Russian operative chip Mark II. I don't know. I think there is something going on with Trump and Putin that we aren't privy to. I don't know if that will ever come out. But after that first meeting, which ended quite abruptly, didn't it? It didn't run the full course.
Didn't stay for dinner.
Yeah. But it seems to have been a success because they've come away with an agreement to move to the next step.
Yeah, well, that was to kind of round off meeting number one, where it was a good meeting. They both said it was a good meeting. So it must have been.
But the strange thing about meeting number one is that at the end of it, Putin did all the talking.
About shit, to be fair. Yeah,
Which is very unlike Trump to let anyone just talk. So I don't know what Trump's game was there, whether he was genuinely, for once in his life, judged the right moment to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, some of the reporters were saying that they thought he was a bit subdued and maybe had a cold or something. But as you say, there's something definitely going on. And the media, or certainly the British media, are talking about it again now. As you know, my theory is actually part of a Russian sleeper cell, or Putin's got something on him. But the media are talking now that it's not just a sex tape, which was raised in his first campaign back in 2016. That it's something much more serious, kind of financially. Which, I mean, that hurts him if it's financial. He's not really bothered about the rest, is he, bearing in mind what you've been charged with before?
Well, I would have thought a sex tape of you noncing with some teenager's got to be worse than losing a few billion. Isn't it? You don't go to prison if you just lose all your money.
Well, yeah. Who knows? I don't think I'm take bets and ask people to speculate. But there's definitely something. And as I said to you earlier, I think he'll just keep lying. I think Trump and Putin will let him lie and say, you will tell people what you want. But, I know, everyone knows that it ain't going to happen, Pete, unfortunately.
No, and we are a few days on from the meeting with Zelensky and the European leaders. And it seems to have quieted down quite a lot.
I think it's still bubbly. He was on, what's his name? Let's look at the foreign minister. He's obviously been shipping in today, kind of saying, it could happen, and hopefully President Putin will sit down with Mr. because he doesn't call him president because I don't recognise him as a president. Sit down with Mr. Zelensky, but then in the next breath says any talk about security guarantees without Russia is, I think he said, the road to nowhere. Which, again, it's just bizarre how the aggressor would be part of the security talks to stop them aggressing still. It's just weird. We'll all wake up one day and it'll all be a very bad dream. Maybe. So what's your thoughts then on what they've got on Trump then? Any wild?
I'm sure if there is a sex tape, then they've got it.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why Trump would be pushing for peace and peace under, to a certain extent, Ukraine's terms, although giving up territory isn't their terms. No.
I mean, my view for what it's worth is that he knows damn well peace isn't going to happen, and he's just saying it to look good, and there's absolutely no intention of it. I mean, I know the bloke's good because he stopped 6 wars, apparently. And I don't know whether you saw in one of his press conferences. Was it one or no, all of them? He mentions that if he'd been president, the war would never have started.
Yeah.
Well, great, it has started. But I think he's got absolutely no intention. That might be a bit harsh. I think he's got every understanding that it won't be stopping. Certainly of anything that he does. Because of this underlying thing, whatever it may be.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if that's a reason not to stop the war. I mean, it might be a reason that Putin gets his own way, but his own way is going to mean that Trump's got to have to control Zelensky, and he's not going to be able to do that either.
But equally, I don't think Putin wants to stop the war. If you keep firing rockets and ballistic missiles, saying, we want peace, at the very least you'd expect them to kind of go easy for a little while and show willing, and because then you can get a plus out of it, can't you? Whereas they don't recognise Ukraine, they don't recognise him as president. He is mad at the end of the day, Putin. Yeah. Well, I think we'll be talking about it again in the not too distant future.
Yeah, whatever the next steps are, we wait to see if there really will be a 3-way meeting. I'd love to see that. If it's the same sort of airport meet and greet.
Yes.
That, to see Zelensky and Putin and Trump all on the same stage. I mean, that will be historic, whether it leads to anything or not.
I think we've got more chance of seeing all the Beatles on the same stage. Got to be honest.
Well, they said the same about Oasis reforming, and what's happened there.
But they're alive at least.
Very good. Okay, well, watch this space with the Russia situation. And meanwhile, in the UK, the hugely successful one in, one out migrant scheme has started. In the same week, it was announced that I think the number of migrants that have come into the country during Labour's control is far greater than
50,000 is past. Yeah. But even that, they tried to put a spin on it because I think it's been nicer weather. Obviously, only cross when the weather's nice, but and even the fact that I don't know what Boris's would have been because it was COVID and reached 50,000 quicker than what's his name? Who was the last bloke? He used to be famous for something. Oh, Sunak. Yeah, when he was PM to reach that 50,000 target. But yeah, those gangs are well and truly being smashed. You can you can hear it. You know, not.
Yeah.
And I think even since the agreement was signed for the 1 in 1 out, I think the figures are something like 2,500 migrants have come in.
And how many out? One. Still the one out.
That's not the important issue. That I think you'll find it's a pilot scheme, and the intentions are right, and everyone wants to see it happen. Blah blah blah, etc. And that's why Labour have done this, and they inherited the problem. Blah blah. But you know, if you want to be cynical about it, none was left.
Oh,
so it's not quite 1 in, 1 out. And it's going to be interesting to see where the protests go or end up with the hotels. There's one around here recently, apparently.
Yeah, there was one just up the road from here protesting about a hotel that we've frequented for Christmas parties. There's 2 of them, and without naming names because we don't want people to know the hovel that we live in. But yeah, it's a migrant hotel. Really nice. Was a really nice hotel. Now set aside for migrants. And there was I saw during the week a YouTuber, one of these auditor guys, managed to get into one of the migrant hotels and showed the really nice conditions that these migrants are living in, and the all you can eat buffet that is being provided for them.
How did he get in? What was his kind of cover story? Did he just put a face mask on and have a delivery bag and walk in?
I think so, yeah. But he managed to get in and got into the restaurant and saw the breakfast. No bacon, so I think a fry up with no bacon.
No, it's criminal.
Yeah, but they're living the life of Riley, and obviously for all of our listeners that pay tax in this country, that's where your tax pound is going.
But we've got to look at the positives because we try and come from both angles. So looking at the positives, we forget about the 50,000 that have come over and the 2,500 since the agreement came in. So yeah, that's just minor things if you want to focus on that sort of thing, because they're doing the right thing. Gangs are going to be smashed eventually. Lots have been invested. So the positive, come round to that, is you may remember a while ago the Home Secretary and Keir said that people won't be working whilst they're if they've claimed asylum, they're not going to be working, and there was a big clampdown. Is it a big clampdown?
Yeah. On
the delivery drivers. So did you see the result? The first one's gone to court now.
No, I haven't seen that.
No. So I think that we've sent out quite a firm message because he got fined £26. So that I think he'll learn his lesson from that, and to the extent he may even decide to withdraw his asylum claim, pack everything up, and get the next small boat back.
With those sort of harsh penalties, I would have thought he will.
Yeah.
But you don't particularly have to wait. There's no waiting time now with Deliveroo and Just Eat if you place an order.
Is it not?
There's an abundance of drivers.
Right.
So I think there are positives.
But they do that at their peril. Because any minute they could get
£26.
They could get stopped by the police, and we'll come on to that in a moment. If the public, start reporting and start taking a stance against the illegal activity, before they know it, there's going to be £26 fines coming their way.
That'll scare them.
Yeah, except if they win on the gambling, obviously, which we've covered before. So you spend money for that.
Yeah. So, not unrelated, the prison system's on the brink. And it seems to have been on the brink for a long time. But there's been an independent review which warns that UK prisons are nearly at the point of collapsing 3 times between 2023 and 2024 because of overcrowding, longer sentences, and insufficient capacity. 97.5 utilisation. I mean, that if that was a hotel, you'd be very happy with that sort of bed and board level. And this report has spotlighted systematic failure despite £10 billion in new build spending.
Yes, is it a failure? See, if I was an MP, I'd put a spin on that. You know, we're utilising everything we've got. You know, sending as many people as we can to prison. That's the spin, I think. You know, there's no empty cells.
No.
Which you said, like a hotel. If you look at it like a hotel, you'd be pleased with that.
Yeah.
So it's quite good.
Yeah, you don't want these prisons. If you spent $10 billion on a new prison, you don't want it sitting around half empty, do you?
Absolutely.
It'd be a waste of money. So they are, they're getting payback for the
money.
For the money.
There is, again, there will be cynics that say that maybe, just maybe, there should be more people going into prison, but there isn't the space. But I think that's a negative view. I think you can only look at the positives, that you utilise everything you've got, and plays back into the last point as well. If you're getting a £26 fine, that's gonna send a message, I think.
What if so the capacity is 97%? What if the death penalty was introduced? How would that reduce the?
That's a bit harsh just for delivering some food illegally.
No. We're still on the prison system. Right. We're not talking about the delivery drivers. Sorry. But if you were, because they were talking about the lower level crimes, tagging more people rather than sending them to prison.
Yeah.
So equally on the higher level crimes, where it's an absolute given, the guy's been caught with a knife in his hand and his wife's been stabbed to death in the lounge. It's obviously him. It's definitely him. Hang him.
Okay.
Then that's one less,
Yeah.
undisputable guilty case.
Yeah. And I suppose it could bring, boost some jobs, wouldn't it? Because you need a couple of hangmen to do that.
Yeah.
And the wood industry and building the gallows and the rope and what have you. I don't know. I mean, even that, no one can agree really what a lesser crime is, isn't there? Is there a lesser crime? Because 1 minute there are lesser crimes, the next minute.
Well, no, I think it's
if
just. If
you're affected, it's not a lesser crime.
No, but I think it's just being sure that there's no mistaken conviction. He definitely did it because he was in the lounge holding a knife.
Well, yeah.
Sounds a bit like Cluedo, in the library with a lead pipe.
But we've spoken about this before, why do we bother with jury trials? Go back to Fuckwit from Southport, he's clearly done it. And I know he pleaded guilty in the end, but why are we wasting money on trying to...
Well, like a trial by TikTok or something, people can vote.
Yeah.
Vote.
Yeah. Well, he admitted it in the end and made comments. So there's so many issues to unravel there. About is it a major crime? Is it a small crime? Is it provable? Do they need to have a jury? I don't know. But in short, yeah, hang on. I think would be a good idea. Okay.
Well, let's see how we get on with that. So, as a not a significant crime, but the Online Safety Act has faced backlash, and correct me if I'm wrong. Obviously, you're our legal expert. This is where you need to prove your age if you want a crafty tug. You need to prove you're over 18.
Right. Do you?
Yeah.
Or get a VPN.
Yeah. Which anyone under 18 knows far better than me how to get a VPN and disguise your location.
Yeah.
So it's not going to work, is it?
No. Another classic example, I think, and we've kind of already covered the thought behind prison and such like, and smash the gangs. Theory, absolutely great, and we'll come on to it again in a minute, probably with the with shoplifting and policing. Thought theory, great. Get in the real world, doesn't really stand the first challenge, does it? And then the counter side to that, or the additional problem is how much free speech is supposed to be impeded by it as well, because there's apparently, I don't use it, but apparently a load of things disappeared off of Twitter and other platforms because it had been censored. But certainly the most important bit, the proving your age, just get a VPN. And if you've not got one already, I can sort you out afterwards.
No, I don't have one because I seem to be able to pass those age checks quite easily, being very much over the age of 18. But the critics of this Online Safety Act have argued that these age verification risks privacy and free speech, likening dissent to condoning predatory behaviour, opposition and civil liberties concerns intensify. Too sure what to make of that, really.
Well,
it's not freedom of speech, is it? If you want a quiet target of privacy of your own home, whether you're 15 or 55, is.
Yeah, I think that's where the quandary is. There's a good intent around protecting kids online, and quite right, everyone will support that. But the way they think they do it is just sweeping, one size fits all. Put bad phraseology thinking about it, but yeah, just sweeping across to say, well, we'll do this and that'll solve everything.
Shouldn't the responsibility sit with the search engines and the internet service providers, where there's nothing more annoying than finding your safe browsing is switched on for some reason.
Oh.
So why can't we have absolute, as parents, you should be able to, you've got one network coming into a house, one Wi-Fi signal coming in, you should be able to restrict that so that nothing is shown. Now, I appreciate kids that have got a mobile phone on a mobile network can go sit in the park and search up anything. But again, if you have a phone through Vodafone for your son, you should be able to sign that up to an absolutely watertight
I don't
search engine that people can't search. The problem I have is that mobile phones are hugely valuable to young people, both for genuine education, but also for parents. Well, no, it is, isn't it? I mean, kids can Google. Kids are far better at Googling to find out the answer to their question than adults are. But you look at our local area residents group on Facebook, and there are grown adults there asking, what time does Boots open tomorrow? Well, go onto the Boots website, Google Boots in your local town, and it tells you what time they open.
Yeah.
But kids don't post that sort of thing online. They know how to go and get the answer to their question.
I find that the irony of kids, that they're fine. They'll sit there with it glued to their hands to look at TikTok videos and Insta and hit people up and do whatever else they do on there. But yeah, when they've got a problem of, what's the speed of light, whatever it may be, you have to suggest, well, certainly my ones, that you got to suggest where you got Google there. Go back to your point. I think the reason they don't post things on the website, the local website, is
it's not cool.
They're doing other stuff with their VPNs probably, and secondly, that just mum and dad will look after anything life issues. Once they've not, it's boost or whatever, they've got no concern about that. But like I'm saying, there's got to be a way with providers to go
I think that it's got to sit with providers to make sure that you're not going to stop the content. These people that produce porn sites, it's a business and it's a multi-billion-dollar business. You're not going to stop that.
Can they be accessed on the internet anymore?
Yeah, apparently. Someone told me.
Right.
But the internet service providers should stop kids from accessing that. This is exactly the same as when I was a kid. I was in a newsagent looking at a magazine I shouldn't have been looking at. And the newsagent said, you shouldn't be looking at that, put it back and leave.
Well, I think you have to be 16 for a rod licence, don't you? So if you were looking at Anglers Weekly.
Yeah. But he was the ISP of his day, wasn't he? He was saying, you're not old enough to look at that wank mag, for want of a better term. So it sits with Google and the likes.
Yeah.
And your ISPs and your phone providers to give people the option. If you're a parent buying a mobile phone for a kid, you should be able to sign up to a certain level of security.
Yeah. But then you'll get the kids moan, won't you? And you can't have the kids moaning because you before you know it, you're being caught. Like you're depriving them of
civil
human
liberties.
rights or something. Yeah, and they'll be triggered because all their friends are able to do it. But it's all doable.
Shut up, you're the only one in the street not getting molested, so consider yourself grateful.
Yeah.
It's tough love, isn't it?
Yeah.
Doing it for your own. Anyway,
how do you know
we're obviously
the only one not getting molested?
we're a bit divided about the Safety Act. I think it's a good idea, but I don't think it risks privacy and free speech. It's just a bit silly. It's just silly. Yeah, the next point. You remind me of these abbreviations you've written down in our extensive.
Yeah. Thames Valley Police.
That's him.
And the Police and Crime Commissioner, Matthew, I remember his surname, has. He's gone down this path before, and he's said something again recently around, crime isn't just the police's problem. It isn't just the police. Doesn't appear to be their problem at all at the moment. But he's suggesting that people need to be more active. And to be fair to him, he's not suggesting that people rugby tackle shoplifters and definitely confront them and that, but he's saying at the very least you should report it.
More have a go heroes.
Yeah, I just don't understand, because you're reporting now, nothing happens. So send the system over the edge. But he's also not saying don't have a go. If you feel confident enough. But the problem we've got is, you don't know who you're dealing with, and you tell someone to put some stuff back on the shelf. I would say it's fairly good chance you're not going to get a response of, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know what came over me, and I'll put it back." You're likely to get a mouthful of abuse, probably. Yeah.
No, I think you're probably right. But what do we do? Do we just let people? If you see someone shoplifting, do you just let them do it, or do you?
No, personally, I think they should be challenged, and I have challenged people. But where do you then go from there? Because his view is, don't just settle for the oh well, that's life, But where do you draw the line? Do you draw the line? Is it like disabled bay parking as well? Is it people that litter? Is it people that are swearing at the table next to you, ruining your day? And all of the above. The police probably unlikely to get involved. Well, they won't get involved with littering and such like, but it's a much bigger problem than just this bloke, Matthew. As I said earlier, welcome to the real world. If he really thinks that societal change is going to come about from his idea that everyone has a go, either verbally or physically, then he really needs to get out more.
I'm going to try it this week. So between now and our next pod, if I see any infringement of the law, I'm going to get involved.
Okay.
And I'm going to report back on the next pod as to how that's gone.
All right.
Dial me in if I'm in a hospital somewhere.
I see it, sir.
But
so
let's both try it. Let's see if we see an issue. Let's
any issue. Any
well, it's got to be breaking of the law or similar.
Okay.
Parking in a blue badge.
So we could be doing this next pod with our jaws wired together after the operation, maybe. Yeah.
In a related story, I don't know if you saw do you remember the Bill TV programme?
Ah, yes. Reg.
So Reg Hollis.
Yeah.
He's a star. His real name Jeff Stewart. He played PC Reg Hollis for 24 years in the Bill, and he was a bit, if I remember rightly, he wasn't a dynamic cop.
He was a bit damp.
Yeah.
But he must have got a good pension if he did the 24 years.
But out of character, he helped the police arrest a shoplifter in Southampton a couple of weeks ago. I think he tripped, this guy was running away from the police that were just jumping out of their pride-coloured car, putting on their rainbow fillets. And they were chasing after this guy, and PC Reg Hollis, now retired, Jeff Stewart is his street name, tripped up this guy, which meant the two pride coppers were able to pounce on him and arrest him.
Well, the Reg or the shoplifter?
No, they arrested the shoplifter. They got the right man by some fluke. He fell off a bicycle that PC Reg Hollis had pushed him off of. So they cuffed him and thanked Jeff Stewart for his work. And Jeff said, "That's fine." He said, "I was in the Bill for 24 years." And these coppers being, I think they were 18 and 19, didn't have a clue what the Bill was about. They assumed the Bill was a reference to the police. And they said, "Oh, really? You've done 24 years in the force?" And no, the television programme, the Bill. And then it dawned on them it was a programme that their grandparents used to watch. They asked for selfies and the likes while this thief was able to wriggle out of his pride handcuffs and run away. So there's a have-a-go hero.
Yeah.
He's not a young guy. Obviously, he was in the Bill for 24 years. But he did his bit. And I think we should both try and do that this week. Let's look for trouble or general annoyance.
I think we should. I think, let's give it a go.
Let's report back if we've had any success.
I do. I mean, the last thing I would want to say on that is that, we'll have nothing to do. We'll have a go. Why not? Yeah, do our bit.
I mean, I know it's second nature to you. You'll go out looking for this sort of shit. I'd always try and avoid it. So it's going to be more difficult for me to get a crime.
It tends to find me rather than when I find it. It just tends to happen. But nowadays, going back to all of the police stuff, and they've got an incredibly hard job, and they don't need police and crime or police and crime and fire service, as some of them are called, commissioners, tell them how to try and do their job, although he's telling the public in this case.
Yeah.
You just don't know. You see so many cases now of how long will you have to, if you do decide that you've got the confidence to stop the offender, and you end up wrestling around with them, how long have you got to hold them there for before the police arrive, and then when they arrive, will they arrest you?
Well, the police are going to arrive, surely within a couple of weeks.
It should be, yeah. You can probably make a telephone appointment or something, I would imagine. And then they'll come there, and you know that ultimately it'll probably be worth it, because they'll get some sort of fine, I imagine, or community service,
or deported.
Unlikely. That's the most unlikely option, I would suggest.
But I'd like to think the problem is that your average member of the public isn't going to de-escalate things very well. So by asking your average member of the public to be more proactive or get involved is not necessarily going to diffuse the crime. You could end up with a street fight, from a simple shoplifting where somebody's running away with a pint of milk and a loaf of bread. It could end up being a far bigger crime, a fight, a big injury, because the person that's trying to intervene isn't trained in de-escalation and
self-defence.
Self-defence.
And have a bullet, and bulletproof, knife-proof vest on it. So.
Applying pressure to a stab wound. Not everyone's trained for that. So I think the PCC has to be a little bit careful. Yeah,
well, I'd say to go full circle on it, these things at the very least report it, and I just feel that will, maybe it'll be a good thing, because if they get true reporting numbers, then they'll realise that the whole thing's out of control, because at the moment some shops don't bother, people don't bother, they'll get robbed and not bother reporting it because they know nothing will happen.
But maybe these commissioners could just look at TikTok and see the number of people videoing these sort of crimes to realise how serious it is.
Yeah. But again, we come back to, it's an age thing that he's probably got no idea what TikTok is, or can't get on it because he's been blocked for whatever reason.
So the ups and downs of the Oasis tour. I went to see Oasis at Wembley. I spent a lot of money. I think I might have mentioned this on the last pod. And unfortunately, a couple of nights after I went, somebody else went and fell off of Wembley Stadium from the top tier, which is bloody high. It's not survivable. Crashed to the ground. I'm not particularly surprised it happened. I'm not suggesting this person was under the influence of alcohol or other substances, but I witnessed quite a lot of people that were. And I can see there's a lot of people there that certainly could be led to believe that they could fly from the amount that they've been drinking and sticking into orifices, sniffing and the like. So that's very sad. And actually, since then, another person has been found dead, hasn't he? In a hotel. He was staying in a hotel before the Oasis concert and didn't make it. He died.
Oh dear.
A youngish guy, so potentially that could have been a similar issue.
I didn't realise that sort of thing, drugs and that went on at concerts. I did. Oh, you surprised me.
It's rife.
Wow. Who knew?
Maybe I should have reported it, got involved.
I think you should have done. Yeah. If you saw stuff going on, I think
I did witness somebody that definitely had an odd behaviour. It was a little bit more than alcohol.
Was that Liam or no?
Yeah. So I guess that's the downs of the Oasis tour. The ups, I think they were saying that they've been criticised by the Edinburgh Council for, I don't know, I think whether it's their impact on the Edinburgh Fringe or...
Yeah.
And Liam was pretty vocal, as you can imagine he can be, to say that they brought in £2 billion revenue to the city during their 4 or 5 night residential there.
He's usually quite modest about things. I'm surprised he raised that.
Yeah, no, he did. And I guess that's the ups. There's a lot of people making a lot of money out of the Oasis summer phenomenon. Long may it continue. I will wear my Oasis bucket hat with pride.
Good. Well, I think the ultimate up will be that it will end soon, and they'll probably never speak to each other again.
Well, they won't need to. I mean, they're worth 100-odd million each.
Yeah, well,
this is ticked the box. They've done the reunion, which everyone was begging for. Hopefully they don't fall out and they can stick together. But we'll have to wait and see. Wokeness of the week: HMRC and the guilt of being British.
Yeah, did you see this or not?
No,
this is new. I mean, what we missed probably a slot for our podcast, so it's a little bit older, but I still thought it's worthy of mention with regards to a seminar meeting, whatever was being put on, which was one of the things we was going to discuss. How to deal with feeling guilty of being British. Yeah, when you work for HMRC. I think that they subsequently pulled it because, unsurprisingly, it got a little bit of backlash, I think it's fair to say. I fully understand it if there was kind of a seminar on the guilt of working for HMRC or the passport office, from what I saw the other day. It's just to recognise that, either you should or some people do feel guilty about being British.
I think we probably do. Some people do. And I think there are other countries, the USA springs to mind, where people are far more mad about being American. There's a lot of houses that have the Stars and Stripes, flags outside. They're, proud to be an American. Every sporting event has a national anthem and a fly past.
Yeah, it's not really encouraged over here, is it? Putting the Union Jack out your window, I find.
I don't think you're allowed to.
No, I think it causes some tension, some problems.
Yeah, I think you can have the pride flag. I think the flags that are acceptable now, from what I see when I go on the train up to London, you see flags out of windows. The ones that are acceptable is the pride flag and the Palestine flag. They're the two national flags that you can hang those out the window and there's no repercussions.
I think that Palestine action was a bit of a problem, apparently, too. If you have anything sort of written about them, that's not.
You can't. We probably can't even mention Palestine action because it's illegal.
But yeah, I have mentioned it, and I can make quite clear that I don't support them. Don't DONT, don't support them
anymore. I'll have to intervene now. I'm going to do my bit and intervene. You've been breaking the law.
This is my favourite, this one, what you're going to read out. This is recently.
Yeah, this is bizarre. So, this was one of my favourites as a child. The 1975, not to be confused with the band of the same name.
No, who we quite like.
Yeah. The 1975 Christmas special of the sitcom Some Mothers Do Have Them. Been updated on the iPlayer with a content warning for discriminatory language. This is the problem with the BBC. I think they're just...
Well, one of them. They've got a lot of problems.
One of the problems.
Yeah.
They are the absolute epitome of wokeness. Don't get me started on the woke gathering that they've got together for Strictly, the next season of Strictly.
Oh.
They've ticked every single box.
Oh, as in contestants?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Celebrity, Strictly, it's every box they've got.
Right.
They've got it covered.
But some Welsh bloke that does adverts, he's probably not on there, is he?
No, because he's
still clear.
And the bald guy that used to cook stuff.
The cheeky
and his mate from Australia that used the N-word, but was only singing a song that had that word in it.
Yeah,
but you still get
no Welsh newsreaders either, I suppose.
No, Hugh Edwards is out. He's not on Strictly.
Okay.
So I guess the problem for the BBC is when you rule out all these people, there's not a lot left.
They could do a rogues gallery Strictly. That'd be quite.
I think that's just the corridor in the BBC where they've got everyone's photos on the wall. There's now gaps where.
But that'd be
Sir Jimmy Savile's been taken down. Hugh Edwards has been taken down.
Yeah.
David Lee Travis has been taken down. So I don't know what the discriminatory language in.
Oh, I do.
Some others have them. What would that be?
Well, there's a warning on there for a reason, so maybe we should give a warning. I'm happy to share it. I say happy, for the purposes of factual sharing. But I did look it up.
Yeah.
and it's along the lines of, I won't say word for word, but it's along the lines of Frank Spencer is dressed, I think, as an elf helping Father Christmas.
Yeah.
And says to a child, I'm here as an elf along with the fairies to help Father Christmas. And I believe the child says something similar to, you're not a fairy, although you might be a puff, I believe was the...
Okay. Yeah.
And so you can see why it's... Yeah.
Have to condone that. It's...
Yeah. So, there's plenty more of those to come, those warnings. And... yeah, but you know, it's slightly bizarre, really, isn't it? Because you've got that, and then in 10 years' time, are they going to, put a warning around naked attraction? Some of the things that are on TV now, which you just gulp at and think, how did TV get to this?
Yeah. Yeah, it's. I don't think we're making much progress. I don't think the BBC are making much progress. Gone are the days when you had Channel 4 that were, they were pioneering with the pushing the boundaries, and the comedians.
I remember Eurotrash.
Yeah, but the comedians that were like Little Britain, David Walliams and the other fella, what was his name?
Yeah, him.
Most of the Little Britain series you can't show these days.
No.
Although they're supposed to be doing a rerun, but it just won't be as good because it'll be woke as hell, and it just won't be funny. And Little Britain used to be very, very funny, but I fear if they reran that series now, which they obviously can't, the complaints would be unbelievable. But it's sad times, because who would be a comedian? You step across the line with a comment, you're going to get cancelled, and that's your career over.
Yeah.
And there's a fair few comedians that have suffered that fate.
One joke away from being cancelled.
Yeah. Risky. Yeah. Very good. Well, thank you for listening, everybody. And should we do it again?
Yeah, I think we should do it again. I'm just thinking, so next week where we might be, hopefully we'll both still be here, depending on how our tackling of antisocial behaviour and theft goes. Or someone mishears what I said about Palestine action, and I won't be here, but that would be good. And we'll see what other wokeness is forthcoming during the week. I look forward to it. Yeah.
Very good.
It's an adventure.
Yeah, look forward to it. Thank you, everyone.
So that's our view on the last few days, and we'll be back again sometime next week. We'd love to hear from you as well, though. So if you've got any news, issues, annoyances that you'd like to bring to our attention, then please do so. Either direct on email to wtf@grumpy-pod.com or through the website www.grumpy-pod.com, or direct to us on WhatsApp 07873 207 206. Thanks again for listening, and we'll be back soon.